Hey everybody, we have a situation today with a couple of slow travelers that are in dire straits at this particular moment. Their financials have basically been blown apart. They are somewhat new to our channel, but we received an email this morning. I was still in bed and saw this email, and this was not the story we intended to tell today. Um, but a couple, they're in Thailand and they started the slow travel and they're running out of funds. They're broke. We could say that maybe there was some planning concerns or issues or how things should go. And if you watch our channel, you're going to know that, we try to help you to launch. We try to help you to slow travel, give you a background of what is necessary to, hit the road and to travel abroad, and we share what it costs to live in different places. And a lot of people can live on less than Social Security, less than 1,500 a month. We show these examples, but we want you to also have a source of income coming in when you're doing this, or that you have that financial backup. And we've also shared what we make on YouTube, which from YouTube itself is not much. So if you watch a commercial here, that's great, but we're not doing this about us today. We've got a couple with us today that launched and they had a certain amount of money and their expectation was to get a YouTube channel going and make money. And that's really, really a hard thing to do. And we want to make sure that nobody else kind of repeats this mistake, but they're in a situation now. So I'm going to go over to Thailand now and we're going to go to Paul and Brooke and we're going to let them tell you about their situation, how they got here, and why they are in desperate need in Thailand right now.
Thank you, Warren. Thank you, Julie. Hi, guys. I'm Paul, and we are the slow travel nomads. Well, at least we were up until very recently. The bottom line is that we started this life back in April. Long story short, my mother, who lost her battle with vascular dementia, passed, and out of that tragedy, a new life was possible. She had left behind a little bit of an inheritance for me. And between the dementia that runs rampant in my bloodline and watching too many members over the last 15, 20 years die to it, and things that were just not going well at that time, anyways, in our personal life, we wanted to take a shot, a real shot at an actual life, one that we could be happy with, one that we could be proud of. So I spent months and months researching to be a traveler, a full-time traveler, because that was something that is just maybe Warren and Julie can understand what I'm talking about here. Maybe some of you can too. It's almost a calling. You feel it, and it gets a hold of you, and it won't let go. And for months I planned this, and when it came time, I thought we were doing well. We started off very well. We left the United States with nothing but our two backpacks and left everything else behind or sold it off. We got over into the Balkans and we did that for the entire spring and summer. The problem is, and what Warren was alluding to is correct. If you're going to do this life, by all means, we encourage you.
Absolutely.
But there are ways of going about doing it, and I have to take full responsibility right here, full stop, that I did not plan accordingly as far as making sure I had online income coming in, to go the whole time. Instead, I had this very naive idea in my head that YouTube, after 6, 7, straight months of doing it full time, was going to eventually provide that income. I'm here to tell you that's dead wrong, obviously, from our example.
Right. So this is our fault.
Yes, 100% I own that. And so bottom line is we've spent the last almost month and a half, 2 months now, doing what we can as far as trying to get any online job or get anything that we might be able to work out with, say, turning our tourist visa into a work visa if we were to find something local. We have been hearing crickets so far. We've been given a lot of good advice, and we have followed up on those leads. But the problem is they haven't been panning out. Meanwhile, of course, life being what it is, the money keeps draining, no matter how low I keep our costs. And right now, here in Southeast Asia, I'm keeping it about as low as you can go, guys. And unfortunately, now the reality is we are now staring down approximately $320 is what I looked at this morning in the account, and we still do not have the employment. And on top of that, we've got a GoFundMe campaign that we started up a couple weeks back. For the first week, it was able to produce like a little over $300, and highly grateful for that. But then it kind of just went away, and now we're staring down the reality of being two people over here in Southeast Asia with $300 that's draining, and the only thing we own is in two backpacks, and we don't have employment. We're really staring down a dire situation.
I do want to say something here, Paul, and to anybody watching, please be kind in these comments. I mean, I do feel for Paul, and I do understand that there's naivety here, and that you do
Yeah.
want to have money. Julie and I, we retired early with funds to live on for long term, and we want you guys to do that as well. However, understand that Paul has this thing going on with his genetics that he doesn't know if 10 years from now the wheels are going to be on the bus to enjoy this type of life. So he wanted to roll the dice. It's one of these things of you don't want to, I guess, go and say you didn't try, you didn't take a chance, you didn't roll the dice. You don't want to sit there and say what might have been. So, but at this point, there's a situation where money is needed for him. Where Julie and I, we're going to throw in a little bit something. We'll put at least $50 in. We'll talk about this later into their GoFundMe. But understanding that we don't want to do the proverbial give the man a fish, but try to give the fishing pole. And so I think what we're trying to do, not only about getting some help for these two, because they're basically going to be stuck out in the streets begging here pretty soon, but to look to see, is there an opportunity out there for somebody that might want to hire them, either one of them, based on some basic skills that they can have either on phone or computer, or even hire them to take them away somewhere else in the world to work in security or customer service or something like that. Paul or Brooke, do you want to add into some of that flavor there?
The only thing I can really want to add to it is, believe me, I know how this comes across is, oh, look, people begging on the internet for money. Um, we do not feel entitled by any stretch of the imagination. I rather enjoy working for what I can provide for me and my wife here.
Yes.
And that's the maddening part, is that we want to work. It's not a matter of being lazy or entitled or just waiting for a handout.
No.
We really want to work.
Yes.
And it's just that,
I need to get hired.
Yeah.
So if somebody has a job somewhere in the world and they're willing to get you there, you're willing to work hard. You're willing to work for every dime you have.
Oh, yes, big time.
So tell us what kind of skill sets you have and capabilities.
Honestly, you're not, you're looking at a couple of high school graduates, no diplomas or degrees past that, no certifications really,
Fast food workers,
customer
service.
service industry. I'm a very quick learner at whatever you put in front of me. That's for, definite. I know we could do some sort of data entry stuff, for sure. We could do online customer support, online customer service. We could, obviously do any kind of, mostly physical labor that, if you needed that in person, of course.
So hotels would be somewhere you could probably work fairly easily if there was a international hotel somewhere that had a place to put you guys into to work at either the front desk or cooking or doing whatever, security.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm sure a lot of people, especially US citizens, are saying, look, you're US citizens, head back to the US, get this money together, go back. Do you have anything to go back to? If you do go back to the States, do you have family? Do you have friends that would take you in? Jobs back there that would be possible?
Right.
Right. That actually has been brought up a couple times by people on our own channel and watch their own videos. And the bottom truth of that is that there's nothing to go back to. We are American citizens, and yes, America is our home country. So there's that familiarity kind of feel, but that's about where the positive ends because, like I said, back in April, we got rid of everything. And I don't know if you can see or not, but summer clothing, and literally all we own because we planned on staying in warm temperatures at all times. So um, we don't even have that. And the what we were told was that we could possibly get an emergency kind of what they call a loan flight from the if you went to the U.S. Embassy and they could get you back to the States. So physically, yes, I could put us back in the United States, but at that point, I'm literally sentencing us to be on the streets and have nothing going for us whatsoever. And to me, that sounds like a much worse option on the table, other than if I could just get to work, I can make sure I sustain us and the life that we're already living right now. That's
I'm
not an issue.
guessing, I'm guessing daily life for you is pretty tough right now. You're probably eating very little, and when you do, it's probably not a whole lot of anything, correct?
Yeah, I've got us down pretty basic right now. Kind of, that survival mode, if you want to call it that. Make sure that we, thankfully, Southeast Asia, bottled water is cheap.
Yes.
So, you can load up on that. And then as far as, making sure you're not spending too much money out there, like say in these restaurants or whatnot. I mean, you can find a couple things pretty cheap, but,
Most
you know,
no.
what you really want to do is, get yourself a loaf or two of bread and then just get some canned tuna that goes for about right here, about a buck a can. And then just split that can up into two sandwiches and there you go. It's not the greatest, thing in the world, but it will sustain you.
So you lasted for 9 months on $18,000, and that included travel between continents from North America to Europe and Europe to Asia. And so I saw that you guys were in Albania. You did looks like Bulgaria, Romania, and
Oh yeah.
then parts of Southeast Asia. So you guys, were getting by, and had you not done the traveling, you might have been able to eke out a little bit longer, probably in Albania, because I'm sure the flights ate up a portion of that. But I want people to understand that YouTube is, if you're going to take off and travel, because we get all kinds of people say, we're going to start a YouTube channel, we're going to do this, do that. YouTube should be started as a hobby and you have other financial means. We've been able to help some other small channels, get some traction and work with some other YouTubers. We helped with Jay and Sarah, getting them past their hump to get to the monetization point. We've helped out and did some videos with the Wandering Hearts and some collaboration with Eat Walk Learn, but we don't look at other channels that are trying to give information as competition, because you all need some extra guidance and we can't be everywhere if you're looking at launching and living abroad. So the more the merrier, so to speak, but we want you to not bank on this, because Julie and I, we're sitting here at 33,000 subscribers, over 3 million views on videos, and we're probably about $17,000 total in the 4 some years. And once you get monetized from YouTube, you might make enough money that first month to get yourself a cup of coffee somewhere. So don't plan on the monetization, because I think right now you guys are sitting around 370 some odd subscribers, and you need 1,000 subscribers to get monetized. So we're not trying to tell you, hey, go subscribe, join into the YouTube channel, because even if you go watch the commercials over there, it's going to take a long time for that to accumulate to put food on their table. So I think the GoFundMe page would be a way to help out, and we'll put that information in the video description. We also have our Facebook group. So if you go on to Facebook and look for our Facebook group, you have Expats Slow Travel Nomad Network by Warren and Julie. You can also look up Warren and Julie Travel. We're going to pop up there, and we'll put a link to the GoFundMe page in there. But just understand, this was taking a shot. So on the deathbed, you're not there saying what might have been, what could have been, but we tried. And their dream is still alive in a way, but they're trying to modify it at this point to find a way that they can live and hopefully live abroad. But if they go back to America, it's just going to be much more expensive than where they are overseas. So, just be kind in the comments. There have been mistakes that were made along the way, but we see this as a couple that had great aspirations and the dream that they wanted to take a shot for. And I don't want to fault anybody for taking a shot, because, your fear of failure is a lot of times what stands between you and greatness and you and success. And sometimes you have to say, I'm gonna dare to dream. So I'm not going to fault them, but I do wish that there was another source of income that was pre-planned to be there for them, to support them as they worked out YouTube as a hobby and not as a mechanism of income. Paul and Brooke, is there anything else that you can share or would like to share?
At this time, I would like to say to the audience that's watching this video, Warren and Julie, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Regardless of any outcome, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
The humanity and decency that you showed us just by simply responding to an email from complete strangers just to have a conversation meant the absolute world. It meant the absolute world to both of us, because that's one thing that we're very big on, is no matter, screw ups, owning it or not, is humanity and decency and just kindness. Believe me, you don't have to kick the dead horse. It knows.
We're doing it ourselves.
It knows. But I thank you. I thank you very much. And you are 100% right that this was probably, given the results so far, ill-advised as far as the means and methods that were used. But I don't want to ever, same as you guys, don't ever want to discourage anybody from trying this life, because I promise you, if you do it correctly and learn from, the greatest teacher of mistakes, if you do it correctly, you will not regret this life. This has been the most amazing several months of our lives, and we have loved every minute of it.
Guys, I'm sorry that we had to do a video like this with you. You guys seem like really fantastic people. For those of you tuning in for the first time, please look at our playlist that is how to be a nomad. We talk about different things from finance and different processes, and so it will be helpful. Look at other videos that will teach you from our channel, as well as like some of the others, like we had mentioned with Eat, Walk, Learn, or with Jay and Sarah. There's different people out there doing different things, but we want to make sure we're educating people to keep from having the issues like this happening.
And please, if you have a job that you can offer this lovely couple, or you have some money that you can put into their GoFundMe, it will mean a lot.
Yeah, and we'll have a link to their YouTube channel in the video description, as well as their GoFundMe information. If you want to see more information, see that they're not, it's not a sham, that they've been doing this YouTube and trying to travel and trying to share their experiences, and it is what it is. So at this point, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for considering helping out to Paul and to Brooke, which we just met this morning after we woke up out of bed a few hours ago. So until next time, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Ciao.